first fell in love with LA hip hop because that's my core is LA underground hip hop. It was Psycho Round. Yeah. It was the self-titled LP. My brother had it on tape. And yeah, so when I heard, because I had not heard, I heard Delinquent Habits and stuff like that. Their sound was the Latin sound with the trumpets and stuff like that, traditional. But this was just on some whole other shit to me. Like, it was just like dark, with the guitars and just the way Sick Jacken was sampling, these tracks and just like flipping them. It was a whole new sound to me. That's the sound that I first fell in love with as far as the LA underground. Psycho Round.
Shout out Psycho Round.
Psycho Round, shout out.
And then so after that, I just started digging, bro. I started getting like more, like, damn, what the fuck is going on in LA right now? Like what is this hip hop shit? So then I discovered Two Mix or the Visionaries.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? After that,
shout out to Mix.
Yeah. After that, I discovered, Dilated Peoples, which I got my Dilated Peoples tattoo right here.
That's right.
It's one of my favorite groups, man. And then after that, I just dug deeper and deeper. You know what I'm saying? And I just immersed myself into LA underground hip hop. It was weird because it's like when I was that young, it's like my oldest brother.
Yeah.
Was kind of like my dad, because my dad was always working.
Right.
My dad was a provider, hard worker, old school, Mexican, fucking, straight up.
That's right,
Keep the roof over our heads and the clothes on our backs,
That's right.
So, we didn't really get to do too much together because he was so busy working 2 jobs, 2 machine shops. You know what I'm saying? He worked at one, boom, he'd get off of one, to buy the houses at, like, real hard worker, yeah, bro. Yeah. So my brother was kind of like my father figure. So at 11 years old, he took me to studios. So I was like 11 years old in Hollywood, in these big ass plush studios with the SSL boards, the vocal booths, like just as big as this room, bro. Like, and that's when I was just like, fuck,
You want to know? You want to be just like.
It wasn't even one of those things where it was like it just kind of like became part of what the fuck like a fascination. Right. It was just kind of like if I'm not fucking like I wanted to know everything there was to know about music and LA hip hop, and then not to mention I had my older brother, because the middle brother.
Yeah. Okay.
This is my oldest brother, the one that took me to the studios, but then there's another one in the middle. He was completely the opposite. He's like K-rock fool, like, he was a, Jimi Hendrix and just a bunch of classic rock. And so I picked that whole shit. Like, that's why I was able to know so much about classic rock and roll and alternative music, you know what I'm saying, and all types of shit. And then the hip hop, the LA underground hip hop. So
you have multiple avenues that you actually acquired your musical taste from.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think I could do what the fuck I do, because I grew up with it. It's like the only thing that was holding me back was like, just kind of like being a little hesitant to release the music. I've always done the little melodic singing shit. I mean, I don't even think I could sing. People say I sound good, but
that's just the
artist. From what I heard, man, I think you're very well rounded.
You know what I'm saying?
That's versatility though too.
Yeah. Like I think it's more of an emotional thing. It's like, a lot of motherfuckers that are, the biggest, hardest motherfuckers on the street have hit me up in the DM talking about, I love your music, man. Like, that song made me break down and cry. Like, I played that song for my hyena. Like, and it's like, that's what it is. It's kind of like you give them a voice. Because there's motherfuckers that don't know how to communicate what they feel, express what they feel. So when you become that voice for them, they relate to you, and that's when you get like a cult following, a support system that's solid, and it's not going to fold on you.